Welcome to Plaid Lattes. And in today's video, I'm going to show you a super simple dessert and a couple of tricks and tips so that you can have easy, stress-free holiday dinners. If that's something you want to see, then do not adjust your screen. So our easy dessert is French-inspired hot chocolate. And I say inspired because while French hot chocolate is amazing, it's decadent, it also gets cold really quick and then it tastes too sweet and too rich. So this is a little bit of a lighter version that is going to be better when you have company over and you want to sit and talk. So we have several people coming over tonight. So I have 2 cups of milk and half a cup of cream. I also like to put a cinnamon stick in while my chocolate melts. And I have about a tablespoon of honey. Now chocolate, you can chop up a chocolate bar. I like the 70% Chippets. And I also really love their passive aggressive, gluten-free as always. Always makes me smile.
Yep.
When you go with a darker chocolate, you can control your sweetness. And I find that putting cinnamon in, you don't taste the cinnamon, but it just makes it a warmer beverage.
It almost sweetens it naturally.
Yeah.
Like it gives it a bit of a sweeter taste.
And it adds a nice depth to your hot chocolate. Same with using honey instead of sugar. Sugar is great if you don't have honey, but if you have a good honey or any kind of flavored honey that you want to add, like a lavender dark chocolate would be really good too. So, All right, so in French hot chocolate, you want 4 ounces of chocolate for 1 cup of milk and a 1/4 cup of cream. So technically you would want 8 ounces if you were doing a double recipe and making it more. I'm gonna do 5 tablespoons of the dark chocolate, just keeping tablespoons. And that will give you a nice rich flavor without being too sweet.
Or too chocolatey either. Like,
and when a couple extra fall in, that's just life. It's the benefit of measuring overneath a pot, way below what you normally measure into. It's great. So I'm going to pop this on the stove at just a medium heat. And one of the great things about this is you can make your hot chocolate and then put it covered in back in a measuring cup, or well, I would say a measuring cup, in your fridge and reheat it. If you want it nicer when you pour it out, try and pour it to a teacup. Don't try and pour it from your pot because you're just going to get it all over the place. To go with your hot chocolate is a really great invention called ginger whip. We discovered it at Sunterra, which is a place in Calgary. Some specialty places might have it, but doubtful. And it's just, it's easy to make. It's really nice. I don't typically measure my whipping cream, you know, as they say, measure from the heart. But then you want to you don't want like a tablespoon of ginger, maybe half a teaspoon. It's a light flavored whip. It's not supposed to burn your mouth off. It just adds that warmth and comfort to your beverage. And then same with powdered sugar. I don't like to put a lot in, so I just kind of eyeball it. Yeah. However, one of the greatest things, and why this is an awesome thing just to make, is if you take a little bit of powdered milk. This is just powdered non-fat. You can get powdered buttermilk if you want it really rich. If you're doing lactose free, there is powdered coconut milk, but I've never found powdered lactose free milk. You add this to your whipping cream and it makes it stable. So you can make this, I wouldn't go more than 2 days in advance. But you can make it and have it sitting in your fridge. And then when people come over, it's not a hassle. You have to throw it together. It's all super simple. Okay, so our whipped cream is whipped. If you have a hand mixer, awesome. If you don't, you can also use a bullet blender. Just make sure it doesn't turn into butter. And if you're Laura Calder, you can just put a whisk in, a couple whisks, and magically it's whipped. I don't know what kind of witchcraft that is, but while our hot chocolate is continuing to heat through, I'm going to give you a couple tips. So if you have company coming, or if you know people might stop by during the holiday season, just make small things. Any recipe can be halved. The best tip for that is if you're doing like a muffin or a loaf and it says to half, you kind of want to scramble, and you have an uneven number of eggs, you want to scramble the egg and measure out, I think it's 2 tablespoons.
I think so.
But
Per egg. Yeah.
if you're doing cookies or brownies, just put the yolk in and it'll give you that more bakery style that just makes people happy. Right here I have sugar cookie bars, a small batch of chocolate chip cookies, and small batches are always great. It gives you a chance to test a recipe and you don't have to have stuff going stale if no one's coming by. And then gingerbread madeleines, which are awesome.
Amazing.
So the sugar cookie will sit great in the fridge, and anything with an icing, actually, when you put it in the fridge, it almost gives it a fudgier texture as it sits there.
They're almost like sugar cookie blondies.
Yeah,
They're
is what this
amazing.
is.
Yeah.
And I will link the recipes for these 3 in the description below, because none of them are my recipe. So both these small batch cookies and the madeleines are perfect to make ahead of time. The small batch cookies, the dough freezes great, and the madeleine you want to make at least a couple hours ahead. So it's great. You can make it in the morning, stick it in the fridge, and bake it whenever you want. The recipe linked below does not have the one tip that I got, comically enough, from Laura Calder, which is you butter your madeleine pan and put it in the freezer. And for some strange reason, that just really makes them pop right out. You get your crisp lines that you want, so they're really pretty. It's great. So all of these recipes are gluten-free. If you have people who are coming over and you're not gluten-free, the best thing to do is if you're getting a bread or a 1-for-1 flour mix, is when you're making the recipes, you'll be tempted to follow them exactly like you would with any other flour. Don't. Add about an extra tablespoon of butter, and that will keep things from drying out. There are lots of other tips with baking with gluten-free, which I will go over another point in time, but that's just a basic for if you're trying to incorporate it for all of your friends and family. So you do still want to serve this in a small glass, your lovely French hot chocolate and your ginger whip. Either an Irish whiskey glass or an Irish coffee glass, or a teacup is also really nice. You can, of course, add a shot of whatever kind of liqueur you want or your friends like. I wouldn't brew peppermint schnapps, but you can always add something if you like it. And I think that's about it. It's just a quick, simple, easy when you have people coming over. If you're making a big dinner, you don't have to stress about a dessert. If you don't have time to make anything, pick up a platter of desserts and you make your hot chocolate. And it's enough. It's okay to not stress during the holidays. Till next time, stay cozy, stay caffeinated. Catch you later.